just in case the cows decide to try to get out. Looks like our four-wheeler's walking away from us. How's it going, everyone? It's been a minute. I've been kind of slacking here. Well, today got to go out and do chores. We have a calf actually that's out in the pasture with that new bull that got pink eye that we just posted the video on last week. Well, now one of the calves that was too young to vaccinate when we got him in, that calf has pink eye. So part of the chores today, we are going to have to get the cows in and that calf and try to give it a shot. We gave the bull a shot of, it's called Draxxin. So that's what our vet recommended, and we put an eye patch on him. The eye patch lasted a whopping day, so better than last year when our other bull had pink eye. His eye patch lasted about an hour maybe, so we were happy to get that. But anyways, the bull seems to be doing a little better. He's still got a little bit of drainage, but his eye's starting to look better, so I think he's recovering. Hopefully we don't need to retreat him. So yeah, figured I could maybe take you guys with me for some chores, and then maybe try to get some footage of getting the cows and calves in. And yeah, actually another thing too, we're looking at, so there's a hay field up on the hill that we usually mow and bale and all that. We did first cutting on it, but usually second and third cutting kind of iffy on whether it's worth it or not. So we've been getting quite a bit of rain. So what we did, I went up there the other day and I divided the field in half with an electric fence, and we're gonna make it a couple extra paddocks. So yeah, there's a lot of clover up there, so we need to give the cows a bloat block before we can do that. Maybe try to give the bloat block today and then let the cows start licking on that and get it in their system. So keep them from bloating, because clover's pretty rich and it can cause gas buildup in their gut, and then not good things happen. So the bloat block just has stuff in it that helps their body expel that gas basically. So yeah, just want to make sure we can get that to them today and get it in their system before we let them out on the clover, so that way they're ready to go for that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is close this gate that goes up to a pasture that's by our house. So the cows are currently around the farmstead here. You can't see them. They're probably hiding under a tree. We'll go find them. But we got to get them in the corral, which is over there. So this is just going to be one less obstacle. So we'll get this gate closed so they can't sneak up there before we get them in the corral later on here. All right, next stop, we're checking water. They got water, so let's go see if we can find the cows. I think they're gonna be over by the corral and the feeder pen. All right, well, we have found the cows. They are over here hiding out under these trees. So this is the group that the calf that has pink eye should be with. This is about 10 cows here with our new bull. Actually, I think that might be the calf right there. It looks like the number I'm looking for. I think it was 23. And 23's mom is right there by the red white face. See if we can get it without spooking. Oh yeah, yeah. So looks like the right eye, I don't know if I was able to catch that, but the right eye is pretty white. So Rick happened to see that this morning when he was out checking cows before he left for work, so I'm glad he caught that. But all right, let's go ahead and feed these feeder calves here. All right, we just gave these guys a bucket and a half of feed. They're looking pretty good. It's pretty hot today. It was almost 90 degrees, so I'm glad to see they have an appetite. A lot of times when it gets warmer, their appetite drops. So, but while we're here, we're gonna go check their water. Can't quite see it from here. I got the hay bale in the way, so go make sure their water tank's nice and full. Yep, looks good. So Rick's girlfriend, Janine, went and bought a bunch of goldfish and put them in here. I don't know if we can see them or not. Yep, there's one right there. No, there's a bunch right there. So they did this with another tank over there where her daughter, Elena, has some horses. And the tanks get pretty full of algae, but you can put the goldfish in there and they actually eat the algae. And the tank over by the horses, you know, we heat them in the winter and keep water in them, so the goldfish actually survived over the winter. And I think this was the second winter, and they actually reproduced. So, and the tanks are getting really clean that they're in. So, it's kind of a neat little trick. But yeah, so now I'm just gonna feed the cats here quick. The black one with the white paws, his name's Zuma. He doesn't get along with the other cats up at Rick and Janine's house very well, so he just chooses to stay down at the farm here. And then this other black one was in the same litter as him, I believe, and he likes coming down here, but he's kind of bossy. But they get along for the most part. But it's been nice having them down here because we used to have quite a few rats with the feed from the feeder calves. So since these two guys are down here, we really don't have that problem anymore. They take care of them. While I'm here, I might just open this gate up and see if maybe the cows will wander over this way if I have it open for them. So I'll get that quick here. All right, we'll see if the cows wander in there. Yes, this gate is a little redneck, I will admit. Aging infrastructure that we are slowly working to take care of. But as you can see, at one point a cow decided it would be a good idea to jump over this gate, the original gate, and dented the heck out of it. So we wired and chained this other gate up to it for now, just to keep anyone else from doing the same. But it is on the list. Hopefully this year we would like to rework this area. So that's the old head gate they used to use back in the day. And then this is like the area where we load them out. So we can run them through there and open that head gate and then park the trailer and load cows if we got to take them to the vet or take them to the sale barn or whatever we got to do. So hopefully here sometime in the next few weeks, months, whatever, before fall, or maybe fall when it cools off. I don't know. We'll see how time works out. We want to tear this out and put some new posts in and redo all this, hang a good gate here, and just kind of start working on our corral and everything. But a couple years back, we got this pre-fert chute, though. That was a game changer, going from that head gate to this chute. Oh my gosh, so much safer. One of my goals in the next couple of years too, I would really like to get a tub for when we're trying to run cows through. I think that would just make it a lot safer and more efficient for everyone, us and the cattle included. Well, our next stop is to go check the other group of cows and calves and bull up on the hill here. So we'll head that way and see how they're doing. All right. So this one's always fun. Got to go through a couple gates here and get up on the hill and go through some electric fences and all that good stuff. It's a little different having two groups of cows, because usually when we just have the one group, they're up on the hill, so we can just sneak through this gate, leave it open and whatnot. Well, one of the first times we did this here this year, because this is the first year we've ever run two groups of cows. So just me and my bad habits here. The first time we did this, there was a group of cows out here, and I went up on the hill to go do something with the other cows, and silly me left this gate cracked. Well, I got pretty lucky. No sooner did I come back from up on the hill, the cows were just right here, and they started poking their head through into our alfalfa field, that would have been a bad day. So I was able to catch them just in time. So yeah, always remember to shut your gates. Alfalfa is starting to look pretty good, and hopefully we'll have a nice third cut. We've had a lot of rain. It's about, getting close to my knee, so that's exciting. Second cutting was a little less than we would have preferred. Second cutting, we only got about, I think it was like 12 or 13 bales off this alfalfa field. This field's like, I think 11 or 12 acres. So we just didn't have a lot of rain, and the field's kind of a sandy field, so it dries out. Last year's second cutting, I think we were around like 24 bales. So yeah, it was cut in half. We weren't very happy with that, but I think third cutting will actually be better than second, which is very rare. Check this fencer, make sure it's working. Got our solar fencer up here. Powers this whole pasture. And you can hear it clicking, and then if you go here, you can't really see it on the camera, but it'll turn green and let you know that everything's okay. So you can see the cows over here. Alright, my camera's not cooperating with me. So we have one paddock right here. There's a fence right there, and there's another field over there, and that's also where we store our bales. We got a paddock there, and then we got this paddock right here that's around the pond, and it goes to the road over there. And then we have another paddock up there that's around another pond. And then this right here, which we'll be next to and I'll show you, that's a hay field we have. It's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 acres, somewhere in there. I'd have to double check, but yeah, we got a gate here for the electric fence. On here, see if it snaps. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that on camera or not, but it's snapping, so we got power, that's good. And I'm going to close this in case the cows decide to try to get out. Looks like our four-wheeler's walking away from us. All right, we're gonna check this electric fence here. Well, that one's not snapping there. So I don't know why, it hasn't been snapping there, but then if I go anywhere over from like, it's just over this hilltop, the corner, and it goes up here, it's been working there. So I don't know, there's nothing really touching here, so I'm not sure. So this came back really nice. This is where I split it into two, about where that power pole is up there. I split it into two up there, and then we'll let them in. So we'll let them in this side, and then they can come and access this little pond here for water. And then that top side, we have another gate over there in the corner, so then they can access that pond for water. So we were just kind of afraid if we just let them in this whole thing, they would trample it more than they would eat it. So that was kind of the thinking behind that. All right, well, here's all of our friends. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing to spark. There we go. I don't know, you probably couldn't hear that on camera, but I did just hear a spark. All right, I had to sneak through the gate really fast here so the cows didn't try and get out on me, so I had to set the camera down for that. But well, we're up on the hill here with the second group of cows. Just kind of checking everyone here, looking at their eyes really close. Make sure no one's got any excessive drainage or white eyes, or it starts as like a little white spot, and then as it gets worse, it like the whole eye turns white and it starts getting swollen, and it's just a bad deal. They can completely lose their eye if you don't catch it and treat it. So we just like to be pretty diligent. But we vaccinated all the cows and all the calves that were old enough to vaccinate. We didn't last year, and it bit us in the butt. The flies are really starting to come out now. It's probably going to be time for another round of pour on here. But right now, overall, I think from what I can see here, everyone's eyes are looking pretty decent. Goodness, you bullies. All right, well, I'm up here in the corner. The cows are just down that way, a little ways down the hill. I just wanted to come check and see if the fence was working right here. Oh yeah, yep, working good. So I don't know why it's not working at that other corner. It's kind of goofy. But yeah, this is what the other side looks like. So quite a bit of clover. Actually, hey, I tell you what, let's just walk out here. But yeah, there's a lot of clover. Just luckily though, you know, looking at it, this side does not have as much clover as the other side. So I think there's a lot more grass. So I think if we give them that bloat block tonight, we could probably still let them over here on this side because there's not near enough clover that it really concerns me that much. So, and on the topic of pinkeye, I guess I don't think I said, but one thing that can, so what typically causes pinkeye to start with is a cow will scratch their eye and then flies will start bothering it and it gets like bacteria in there. So that kind of starts it, and then flies can spread that to other cows and just create a whole stir of problems. So fly control is one of your best friends when it comes to pinkeye. And we've just had really good luck vaccinating for it too. Like I said, last year, we just thought we'd try not vaccinating just to, you know, sometimes you got to try things, see if it's an input you really need or not. Well, last year we found out that is an input we definitely need to keep doing. It was a battle, and it's part of what led to us getting another bull, because our bull that's up here, he got pink eye so bad last year, we were afraid that he wouldn't get the cows bred close together, and actually he did a fantastic job, all things considered. So anyways, let's just go check the fence up by the road here, and then we'll be able to head down. There it goes. That one was a little slow. So, yeah. I'll just kind of go through a quick drive around some of the pasture here. This is one of my favorite pastures just because it's in the trees and it's really well shaded. This pasture I have to do a lot of work to yet though. We just got branches that keep falling, cedar trees that keep popping up. We have a lot of multiflora rows. I don't know if this is focusing very well or not. The lighting's kind of goofy in here. But anyways, yeah, so that is one thing I really want to try to get a handle on, is all the cedar trees and multiflora rows, so we can make the most out of this pasture, because I think this it's awesome. It's got a pond and then it's got tons of shade for the cows. So if I could get rid of that and just make it even more efficient, the cows can be up here longer in the hot months and be a lot more comfortable. So, but yeah, I'm gonna head back over to the cows, take one last look at them, and head down. All right, so on this side of the group, you can kind of see all the calves here. Yeah. You guys will get to eat some fresh grass here in a little bit. Just double checking all them, try to look really good. As you can tell, everyone has an opinion. No, I think everyone up here is looking good. You know, one nice thing about having two separate groups, I think they're far enough away, like how that one, we had the new bull get pink eye. I think they're far enough away that the flies aren't going to transfer it. All right, well, I'm going to get out this gate here. Well, I'm back over here at the other group of cows. There's the new bull right there. I guess I don't know if we've really gotten much good footage of him. I know we had the whole pink eye deal, but I don't think that was a very good, I mean, it just wasn't a good view of him. You couldn't see him out and about, but pretty good looking guy. Pretty excited to see what he's gonna do. So that was one big reason why we decided to split the groups like this. We wanted to see exactly what his calves looked like versus the other bull's calves. So But anyways, I'm just kind of waiting on these guys to finish up their feed, and then I was gonna see if I could maybe just get a small bucket of grain and coax the whole group of cows in the corral and just leave them here. Rick is still at work. Once he's off, I'll have him help me. It works better having multiple people, and then Morgan and the kids went out to eat with her mom. So it's just nice having people to help sort and get them through the chute and everything. Make life a little easier and safer. All right, well, I called the cows, and with the help of a little bit of feed, I was able to lure them all in. So hopefully now we're gonna kind of sort them and get this calf ran through the chute and treated, and we'll check everyone else really, really good to make sure that no one else has any symptoms of pink eye. And honestly, since we have them all in here, we may go ahead and pour them too. Well, it's about 9 o'clock at night. Just got back in. We got that calf all fixed up. We got the bull back in and sprayed his eye out with some of our pink eye spray we have, just to make sure it's staying clean. Definitely looks like it's getting better though. So hopefully the calf will be good to go. It's got an eye patch. We gave it a shot and cleaned its eye out. So hopefully, yeah, he'll make a good recovery. And then we also got our bloat block out and got our fence opened up to move the cows up to our top paddock. So, well, that's it for me. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you in the next one.